Hello guys and welcome to Power BI Zone. Today we are going to discuss one of the most important functions that is used in DAX, and it is the function called calculate. So why do we need to use calculate? If you go to Power BI and if you start typing the calculate function, this is the first thing that Power BI will tells you. Uh, Calculate evaluates an expression in the context modified by filters. Okay, so what does this mean? In very simple terms, what I am trying to do over here is, as usual, I have tried to pull the financial samples data. Okay, and using that we are creating a table. So in the first column we are having country and the second column we are having sales. At the top we have taken two filters, one for country and the other for year. Now if you carefully look at the very simple data, it is nothing but the sales per country and the total sales is given over here, right? So as I was mentioning, what is the use of calculate? So I'll try to explain it very simply, but actually calculate is a very widely used function in DAX, right? So the more you play around with this calculate, the more you will learn. So this is just a starting video which will help you to grasp the concept, hopefully very simply. So let's say there is a requirement where the client is asking you that I need to see the sales only for France, right? So at that time you need to modify this filter context. As if you see my previous video, and please I urge you to see that, particularly on the row context versus filter context, right? At that time you will see that there are multiple filter contexts which comes into the picture. Look, the outer filter context are the two that I have applied for country and year, right? And the visual level filter context is again coming from this country column. I am having one filter context for US, the second filter context for Mexico, third for Germany, France, and last for Canada. So for each and every row there is a filter context which comes into the picture. What calculate does is it helps you to modify this filter context. So let's say if I want to calculate the sales only for France, what I will do, I will simply write this. Okay, I will calculate the sum of my finance sales and I will filter it for country equal to France. That's it. As simple as that, right? Now let me see what happens when I pull this particular measure into this visual. See, the sales for France, which is 243, it repeats for each and every row, right? Why is the sales repeating? That means it overrides the first filter context for US. Whatever is there for US, it terminates that, and it behaves as if the first row is also for France. That's why you're getting it for France. Similarly, for the second row, it overrides whatever is for Mexico, and the new filter context it places for France. So second row also becomes for France, third row also for France, fourth for France, fifth for France. That's why the sales for France is repeating in each and every row. Correct? So in short, it is modifying the default filter context of the visual and replacing it with the new filter context that you are specifying in your DAX measure. Okay, let's say I will try to give one more example. Let's say you need to see the total sales, right, for each and every row. Correct? So over here we were getting earlier the sales for France in each and every row. Now you need to see the total sales. You need to modify the filter context again. Correct? And how will you get the total sales? That's because you need to ignore the sales that are coming from US, Mexico, Germany, France, Canada. And for each and every row you need to ignore that. How you will do that? There is another function called all. This is the measure that I was talking about. total sales, right? And it is very simple. You will use calculate, and after calculate we are going to give sum of sales, right? Sum of sales. And using this all, we will neglect the context that is applied in the column of country. So what all does, all would remove any existing filter context that is applied on this column. So in short, once I add this total sales, you will see the total sales will be repeating. Sorry, not over here. You need to select the visual obviously, and then you need to select the total sales over here. So you see this, so total sales 1187, it is repeating for each and every row. Why it is repeating? That means it ignores the first filter context of US, correct? And as I have given all, so it ignores all the countries. And now if you ignore all the country, what you will get? You will get the total sales of 1187. That's why for the first row also 1187. Similarly for the second row also, it is ignoring for Mexico and putting the total. For the third row it is ignoring Germany, putting the total. Fourth row it is ignoring France and putting the total. That's how it's going to calculate for all the rows, right? And it will ignore any country, and that's how you're going to get the total sales. Okay, now a very important interview question, which is a lot of guys are asking these days, and it's very important as well. What happens if you add a let's say filter on this page, a page level filter or a report level filter? Is all powerful enough to ignore that filter, or it will respect the filter? You're getting my point? So let's say I'm having a country ka filter over here. So if I just drag and drop the country filter, and I want to see this filter only for France, correct? So what happens to this total sales? Because I have put that you ignore the total, you ignore the column of country. You have to ignore the anything that comes from the country column. So if I put now a filter on this country column, what happens? Right? Will all respect the page level filter, or it will ignore the page level filter? The answer is very simple. Let us try and do this. So once I give France, although it is filtering the data for France, look what happens to the total sales. It is still given 1187. That means it is still ignoring anything that comes from country column. That means it is respecting all, right? And it ignores even the page level filter of France, correct? That's why all is very powerful. So friends, as I mentioned, calculate is a very useful function in DAX, and this video is just an introductory video on calculate. I'll try to make more videos if I get obviously good response from you guys. So I'll try to make those videos again. So hope you like this video. And one more thing, so along with calculate, you'll be having many other filter modifier functions, right, which comes into the second expression, right? So if you see the syntax of calculate, the first thing argument is an expression, right, which we give sum of sales and so on, and the consequent parameters are obviously filters. So it can be filter 1, filter 2, filter 3, and so on. So for this filter, you can use any one of these further functions. So in my example, I've used all, correct? So there are other filters like remove function and keep filters, use relationship, cross filter. We will see them in the upcoming videos. Let's keep the calculate thing very simple for now, and we will see the complexity in the upcoming videos. So if you like this video, please comment and let me know what I can improve. It is not only that you like all my videos and give good comments. I don't want that. I want this session to be interactive, and I want to help my Power BI community. So if there is anything that I am missing, or you would love me to go ahead and explain things more in details, please let me know. Thank you so much.